Hello everyone, welcome to the video. Today we're going to be looking at Filthy McNasty, which is a chart that is for the Texas Jazz All Region. It's one of the etudes. It's the swing etude. In fact, it's a shuffle. So let's get into it. I'm going to go through chronologically and look at each part that I think is important throughout the piece. The very first part that I think is the most important is for the drum set to make sure they're lining up short and long sounds with the rest of the band. Let me play a clip for you and show you what that looks like. So you see how the long sounds are played on one of the crash cymbals and the short sounds are normally played with the choke of the hi-hat. The next most important part, I think, is the basic shuffle groove. It's not a swing like most charts are, and they have been in past years, but it is a shuffle, so we got to look at that. Let me show you a version of me playing it with a metronome, and you can follow along yourself too. The next thing that makes this piece very unique is the fact that it goes into straight time while still having some sort of a swing feel. So make sure that when there are eighth notes and when it says even eighths, that you play those correctly. I will play you a clip of where I am playing those, and you can notice that they're not swing notes. They are even eighth notes, so keep that in mind. So the next part in this piece starts at measure 21, and the important thing about this is to make sure you're laying back the Q notes. I play them on the snare personally. That's what I find is best. But one thing I was noticing myself doing was I would play the Q notes early, and this would cause the swing to feel really weird and it wouldn't feel right together with the brass. So make sure that the Q notes you're doing on the upbeats of beat 3 are laid back a little, and that can get it together if you feel that they're not together. Next thing I want to look at is, in fact, the fills. I play a fill at measure 32, I believe. The measuring is off, by the way, keep note of that. It goes 32 to 69, so keep in mind that. But the fill at measure 32, I will play for you. You can practice it slow, you can practice it fast, but putting a fill there is very important, and making sure you're leading into the next phrase with a high enough energy. One of the most challenging parts in the piece, in my opinion, is measure 77 to 81. Make sure that you're lining up with the band well enough and that you're dropping down in dynamic some, because it does go to forte to mezzo forte there. That's a little detail that I had missed the first time going through this piece, and only of recent have I noticed that, and I think it sounds a lot better. Again, you can lay back those eighth notes in that phrase on the upbeats, and it will sound more together because the band does lay them back. So the very last part I want to look at is the ending phrase. So you got to keep in mind that you're going to reprise from the beginning. So you want to make sure you're close enough to the beginning in the long and short sounds, but you also want to be slightly different. So two ways we can do that is having a fill measure. The fill measure I will play for you, play a clip, and you can learn it for yourself. I think it fits very well, and it picks up very well into the band's pickup notes. Now, another important thing to notice is the pickup notes that go into the crashes at that last phrase. I'm going to play the entire phrase again, starting from the fill and going to the end. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you learned something, even if it was a little, and good luck on your all-region audition.